Dilly the body snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, when you survey the landscape for the heavyweight division at the top end, you have to give Frank Warren all the credit in the world. For those who've been saying Frank Warren is done, he's finished, and Eddie Hearn's too far ahead, all that kind of stuff, think again, all right? Frank Warren has played the long game. Over the last couple of years, he's been moving his chess pieces in place. He's got them, the master strategist. That's exactly what Frank Warren is. And to clarify, when I say Frank Warren, I actually mean Queensberry Promotions, okay? I just find it easier to say the promoter's name. Now, for those of you who watch my videos each and every month, I'll do 4 videos each and every month on the major sanctioning bodies, the rankings, WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. When you watch those, you're fully up to speed. So you won't need me to tell you anything in this video. You will already know it, okay? So make sure that you go check out those videos, and then you'll be up to speed like everybody else. All right, just spend a couple of hours, binge watch them, you'll be fully up to speed, and you'll be a hardcore boxing fan for the heavyweight division very, very quickly. All right, now currently the winner of Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk on August the 20th, the winner of that fight is going to have to go through the Frank Warren gauntlet. Okay, when you're a unified champion, such as this particular fight will be, there's an order of play. All right. The WBO has only just been completed. That was Oleksandr Usyk. That's how he got his world title shot. Up next will be the WBA. Then it will be the IBF. Then the WBO. That would be the fair run of things. That's how it should be. But this is boxing. And there might be a hand that Frank Warren may actually play if Eddie Hearn isn't careful. All right. Now, we're going to talk about that in a second. Now, as I said, the winner of Joshua and Usyk up next is going to be the WBA. There'll be no voluntaries. It's now going to be mandatory challenges back to back to back. So up next is the WBA. Who is the WBA mandatory challenger? Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, the WBA regular world heavyweight champion. Daniel Dubois is a Frank Warren Queensberry Promotions fighter. So the winner of Joshua Usyk has to see Frank Warren and Queensberry, because Daniel Dubois must be next. That's already been ordered. The only way that they can not fight Daniel Dubois is to either A, vacate the WBA super belt, or B, go collect the very last remaining belt. Currently, Tyson Fury, the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, that's the last remaining belt. So you can go see Tyson Fury next if you don't want to fight Daniel Dubois for undisputed. Tyson Fury is a Frank Warren Queensberry Promotions fighter. So no matter what happens, up next will be a Frank Warren fighter. So they're going to have to go through the gauntlet. Now, if Tyson Fury wants to retire, or if they don't want to see Tyson Fury for undisputed, whatever it may be, they're going to have to see Daniel Dubois. If they get past Daniel Dubois, then they may have a little bit of a reprieve when it comes to Frank Warren and Queensberry, because the IBF would be then next, which would be the winner of Filip Herkovich and Zhilei Zhang. But here's the thing, that has not been ordered yet. Now, that particular fight has been ordered, but the winner of that fight has not been ordered to fight Joshua Usyk. It hasn't been ordered yet. So by the time that comes around, the WBO is back in play, because a year has passed since the first Joshua Usyk fight, when Usyk was WBO mandatory. That was completed in September of last year. So come September, the WBO can then order their mandatory, which is currently Joyce, a Frank Warren Queensberry Promotions fighter. So if Filip Herkovich and Zhilei Zhang, if the IBF hasn't ordered that winner to fight the winner of Joshua Usyk before September, Joyce could actually jump in front. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Frank Warren has played his hand very, very well. Now, if you're Frank Warren, if you're the businessman, as confident as you are in your particular fighters, well, really what you want to do is fight the winner of Joshua Usyk. You want to keep that gauntlet going. So what you want to do is you want to make sure Daniel Dubois keeps hold of that WBA regular World Heavyweight Championship. You want to make sure that Joyce remains the WBO mandatory. Because if either of those fellas take a fight and lose, then somebody else is going to jump in if that somebody else defeats them and they're not a Queensberry fighter. So business side, you need to try and keep them wrapped in cotton wool as best you possibly can. But me as a boxing fan, do I want to see Frank Warren do that? Of course not. I want to see Joyce take on Joseph Parker or whoever. I want to see Dan Dubois go fight Dillian Whyte or whoever. I want to see those fights. Of course I do. All right? The landscape as to which fighter has that position is really irrelevant to me. As a boxing fan, I want to see these particular fights, of course. But if you're the businessman, Frank Warren, well, you want your chess pieces in place. So if you are, say, for example, Ben Shalom and boxer, you've currently got Joseph Parker, there's currently a contract for Joseph Parker where he could fight Joyce. As much as, yes, it should well be, as a boxing fan, I can look at that and say it should well be a dual promotion for Queensberry Boxer, Sky Sports and BT Sport, and put an undercard on as Queensberry versus Boxer. That would be phenomenal. But if that can't be done, if Frank Warren is sticking to his guns where the only way he's going to have Joyce, Joseph Parker, maybe if you're Ben Shalom and boxer, you might look at that and go, right, Joe Parker, I'll tell you what, go on to BT Sport, fight Joyce. If you defeat him, then suddenly a Queensberry fighter is out the way. That chess piece is gone. Joseph Parker, a boxer fighter, is in the queue to have the fight. Does that make sense? If, for example, you're Dillian Whyte, if Daniel Dubois is serious about fighting Dillian Whyte, if you're Dillian Whyte, and if he is going to continue with Matchroom, for example, then maybe push for that fight. If Dillian Whyte defeats Daniel Dubois, he's up next. He's up next. But there again, Frank Warren, very, very smart businessman, maybe he's going to offer Dillian Whyte a multi-fight deal. So therefore, he can make that fight, and therefore the winner of that fight won't really matter as far as Queensberry's concerned. Again, if you're a boxer, if you're Ben Shalom, maybe try and get Dillian Whyte signed up, and then try and get that Dan Dubois fight. But of course, boxing politics will get in the way. So that's pretty much the run of things, that Queensberry are, all roads lead to Queensberry. That's exactly where it goes. So the winner of Joshua and Usyk is going to have to fight either Dan Dubois, which is up next, or they can skip that fight and go fight Tyson Fury. Either way, both of them are Queensberry fighters. If the winner of Filipovic and Zhilei Zhang is not ordered before September, the WBO could jump in front. Therefore, next in line would also be a Queensberry fighter. They're going to have to go through the gauntlet. So if the winner of Joshua Usyk gets past, say, Tyson Fury, for example, they're still going to have to fight Dan Dubois afterwards anyway. So the next two fights for the undisputed fights, if you like, could be all involving Queensberry. Frank Warren's played his hand very, very well. Very well. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.